there's a load of these which are broken and people always interpret them as mappings. But we know. Yeah, but we know that it's the hinge for the buckle, so you have the 1, 2, 3 beast heads there and then 3 on there. Those are lovely.
How much do you reckon there was left over from the port? You know what I'm reckoning we are
Yeah.
And then you get the bigger belt buckle.
Morning.
Hello, mate. Yes.
Will he want to be with you?
You want to, or don't want to. Try a little bit forward, 1 step. Back here, 1 step. Probably be good 2, sometimes 3. You can see the potential once you've got a few stamps. And it's quite interesting, I did start to actually try and catalogue pieces of work, and you started to spot the same craftsmen, the same...
Morning.
Ask questions if you want.
Pardon?
You know, if we know the answers, we'll tell you. If we don't, we'll lie.
I make up half the stuff.
Morning.
So you don't need to colour it at all?
There's not.
Because you've got this really dark stuff here.
So it's. You could use oak galls to dye leather. Yeah, that's actually dye.
Morning.
Hello. You dog friendly?
Oh yes, yeah, very friendly.
Hello.
It's a nice warm jacket you've got on there. And we're too warm just now.
Suffering a bit,
Yeah,
keeping the shade.
yeah.
It'd be much better, more appropriate if they did these things in the winter.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
I'd be improved people.
At least not like the other year when it was chucking it down on me.
Is that fast? Yes, wait. Probably a bit tricky, yeah. First, I'll try that.
Yeah, the Varangian guard. Yeah. I think on one of their in one of their temples there's actually like runes carved into it that says half that was here. It's quite interesting.
The name Russian comes from your own hair.
Yeah, the Roof's Vikings.
Yes. We walked up. From the fire. Yeah. Yeah. As I say, just a 3-in-1, but I mean, that's a small wheel spear. It's very difficult to guess how much is in that, so it's really just an eye, and once you've got it ready, you'll know if it's too much charcoal in it. I'd rather put more beeswax in than not enough, you know. You want the other one as well? Creating better steel.
Very strange. It is just iron. It's very brittle, isn't
Yeah,
it? The cast
it's
iron.
very easy.
But then the carbon adds the strength
That's right.
as well.
Okay. We're doing my. I've not got my.
You start off like since you're 5, 6 years old around the farm, when you get to around about 8, 9 years old, you start to apprenticeship. Start to apprenticeship properly, like you can deal with that. So again,
So I'm happy with the lemon juice or vinegar will clean up nicely, especially if it's copper.
The box is on this side, isn't it? Okay.
by the time you're 16 years old,
Yes, darling.
by the time you're 20,
Pardon?
5 years.
That's one side of the picture done. So this doesn't take that long to make. Well, this is the whole point of having something that you just, it looks nice, looks smart on your finger, but at the same time, if you want to buy something, it's not like that one, you know what I mean? Because that takes like a lot longer to make, obviously. So, unless you obviously take it from someone else, then it doesn't matter. But if you have it made for you specifically, the last thing you want to do is just straight away go like, oh, I can do this.
Hunting, otherwise we might be using a bow. So archery, it's not quite at the level of the later medieval period. You're not going to expect, particularly on the battlefield, massive volleys of archers. Now we're hitting the 11th century where it begins to come in. You're starting to see much larger armies and much larger forces. As the Kingdom of England gets founded, you start to get this collaboration of what were individual kingdoms. So you suddenly have more money, you have more industry, you can start organising things into forces. So where you have battles of a few hundred, now you're starting to see them getting up into the thousands. Archery-wise, this is when we start to see it becoming both a battlefield tool, but it's already being used for hunting a lot. So, I've got a selection of arrowheads here. You're going to hold them, I'm going to grab one at a time. So, we'll start off with some hunting ones.
Nick's also got the...
Little example. So, hunting arrow, like this. So 3-fletched, just like a modern arrow. The technique hasn't changed. It worked. It's worked for hundreds and thousands of years. We're not going to change it. This kind of arrowhead is good for hunting smaller animals. So you're talking maybe foxes, that kind of size, maybe a little bit smaller as well. Rabbits, if you want to hunt a bow, though you're probably going to go for a snare with a rabbit. You could use it for attacking people, but it's not purpose-built for it. You can then get big arrowheads, so variations on the theme. If you're hunting something a bit bigger, you might go for something with a barb on the back. There's an even bigger example here. So if you're hunting and you want to use it for combat, the idea is here, if this goes into someone, if any surgeon tries to pull it back out straight away, it's going to do a lot of damage, or it might even lodge. Generally, when it comes to if you've been shot in the battlefield, the general attitude is they'll snip off the fletching half and they'll knock it through if they can, rather than trying to pull it back out, because the risk of leaving some lovely rusty metal inside somebody's body is not great. When you're hunting an animal though, the idea is this will stick in the back, so say a deer, you're not going to be able to take that down with a single shot. You get that in the back, the deer's going to run off, it's going to move, this is going to wiggle around. These are sharp on both sides, it's going to start gouging and doing more damage and cause it to bleed and bleed and bleed, and you just track it and track it and track it until it finally passes and gives up, because it's just lost blood. If we want to hunt something a little bit smaller with wings, we have this very fun shaped arrow. So if you were to shoot one of the bigger arrowheads at a bird, you're going to spoil the meat. You're just going to pop it. There's not going to be anything really left. So the idea of this is you clip the wing of the bird, either in flight or on the ground, and that'll take it out in the air, knocking it down to the ground so you can pick it up and it won't spoil the breast meat. That's the idea of that one. The next one is a military one, which you see a lot on TV shows, and they'd always get it wrong. That's a fire arrow. Now it's not going to be a burning ball of pitch or paraffin, because paraffin and pitch aren't available for that kind of job. What you're looking more is a smouldering rag, maybe some straw in there, and the aim is not to shoot people, but when if you're sieging a settlement, you want to lob that in because most roofs are thatched, set the thatching on fire, burn them out. So it's not going to be used very often, but it is a tool that's available to armies in the time. We then have a couple of different ones. So this is actually a little bit of a later medieval arrow. You see how it's got this really sharp point, but a lot of mass behind it. The idea of that is in the late medieval period when you've got plate armour, that will crack the plate and hopefully make its way through. But for our period, watch out, I've got sharp things. For our period, the main armour we're wearing is mail. This is the armour of choice, the armour of kings at this period. Great against slashing weapons. A very determined spearman can probably get through it if they've got the opportunity, but an archer, in it goes. I would push it in further, but it will get stuck. I've done that before. The finer the mail, the better protection you've got, but also the more rings you need. So you'll find those of higher status with more money will have finer and smaller rings built up. Yep. So, varying different sizes of them, as you can see, dependent just on how the blacksmith who's made them. The other thing, a lot of all these arrows we've got are socketed. That is another later medieval period. Most of them during the Viking period are tanged, so it's more a blade that sits inside the arrow shaft, a lot simpler. And you still get flint arrows being used in the period, particularly if you're hunting, because flint's an abundant resource. Why wouldn't you just use that rather than expensive metal? And certainly when you're hunting or even on the battlefield, whilst time and effort goes into the shaft, that's the bit you want to get back. Always want to get that back. That's what you're aiming for, because that's expensive. That's labour. It's hard to get your hands on the iron. It's hard to forge the iron. It takes skill and time, more so than a fancy stick. So that's the archery stuff. There is about to be a weapons demo in a minute, so I don't want to keep you too long. I don't know what the time is, but on the hour they are about to start fighting.
Oh.
But yeah, if you've got any questions or want to have a handle of anything, please ask. Probably a yes, but some stuff is sharp.
What are the arrows actually made of? You know, the wood.
Wood.
What would you use?
I think it might have been ash. I'm not entirely sure on that. So we've got some that are made of cedar. That's quite a common one, but it's going to be whatever's really available to you.
Yeah.
So what you can get your hands on that's cured in the right time.
Yeah.
But ash is the go-to hardwood for pretty much everything in the period. So certainly. A lot of the bows would have been ash or yew. A lot of our bows are ash because they're the low poundage, but the proper bows in the period are more likely to be yew, but it's illegal to chop a yew tree down now, so it makes it a little difficult to get English yew anymore.
No, thank you.
No problem.
Lovely, thank you.
Knife is used for everyone.
And it's on the other side.
Everything from butchering, using it on your own food, to killing your enemies if you're in a pinch.
The nice thing about a knife is that you've always got it to hand. The biggest problem is you have to get far too close. When you're ready, go!
I can't see anyone with a very ridiculously oversized one or a very...
In terms of our combat,
2 2 1 2 1 2 2 2 1 2.
I didn't put one.
No, I haven't. Got to be on online and then you dial in 12 o'clock. Right, let's make it look like that.
You're sorry for killing, he was already dead! He was cocky with his overkill earlier, but it didn't last long.
Oh, we're down to our final two. Now come on, you know you don't get to just fight. Introduce yourselves.
I am Olaf of the land of man. I'm Edmund.
And the visitor from the Isle of Man, Olaf is the winner here.
And let's have a round of applause for our winner. Right, you ready for the magic pit? I call upon the dead to rise.
Is number one, you can stand a bit further away, you can carry a shield, but also you can hook that shield and pull it out of the way, you can hook joints and limbs and all sorts of things. So it's just a bit more fun. Plus you can use it for other stuff like chopping down trees and skinning animals and things.
You might have been able to see the axe being used to hook the other axe as well, like what Sigrid was saying about joints. You can use it to hook the axe out of the opponent's hand. It's a much more common weapon because, as we said, everyone's got one. And experience wins 9 times out of 10.
So just to give you a little bit of background, our guys train all around the country throughout the year. These battles out on the field are not scripted, these rely entirely on their training. We have several tests that have to be completed within the society to make them safe enough to go out there.
So you can see Northumbria with the Is this an axe fight or a cuddle? And beautifully there, Ash from Valhalla sneaking in. Well done, Ash, that was beautifully done.
Right, before they get too warm down there, let's call upon the dead to rise.